And we're back with James. Hey, James.
Hey, Daniel.
All right. Hey, Daniel. Hey. Yeah, that was good. Try that again.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. All right. I'm just messing with you. All right, man. So these are some BGS graded cards that you graded?
I graded some of these. Others I just acquired already graded. Almost everything here is quad 9.5 or higher, with the exception of that toward the bottom. But we'll talk about that. These aren't super high end. They just represent a couple different classes of kinds of cards that I've seen people debating one way or the other. Are these good? These bad? These have a future? So I thought I would bring them and we discuss with Daniel and see what he thinks about these.
All right, so I might as well make this like a Finance Friday. If it's not Friday, who cares? All right. Why is this stupid light here? It's freaking annoying. All right, so James, thanks for coming. So yeah, it's like a Finance Friday. So what exactly are you trying to what question do you have?
So I'm more of a collector than an investor. I basically collect cards that I like. So for instance, I got all of these foil unstable lands down here, which were all packed fresh. I know other people like John Avon too. I'm a big fan of his, so just fair warning.
All right, guys, a little malfunction. So you were saying again, James? Look at this.
Yeah, so I was talking about the unstable foil lands and just warning people, especially if you like John Avon as I do and you want to grade some of these to have to your collection. These are very hard to grade. I was curious what would happen with the borderless cards, and the centering they're very harsh on. They don't obviously have a traditional border that's easy to measure, 50-50, 45-55, whatever. So if you look at these and look specifically at the centering on these, they're generally 9s. A couple of them got 9.5s, but these are very hard to grade. So just fair warning.
Now, is it just, you only got like all 9s, right?
Yeah, there are 3 basic 9.5s in there and even an 8.5.
Wow. So what are the no 9.5s? Oh, there are some, okay.
Yeah.
So is it the chipping, you think, on the back? What do you think it is?
Well, the fact that the centering starts out at a 9 for most of these already kind of hurts it.
Oh, that is nuts. Yeah, the centering is really shitty on these.
The other subs were also getting 9s for the most part, so something about these cards, I don't know if it's the print quality or something, or BGS just isn't sure how to grade them yet. They're pretty harsh on them.
Wait a second, this one has 9.5 centering. What the hell is wrong with this?
Yeah, is it obvious this is centered better than these other two?
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to tell, especially with the lighting here, but
they consider the back too, but the back isn't weighted as heavily.
Yeah, why don't you hold it? Yeah, hold that one. Jeremy, why don't you hold this one? Like no, flip it over. No, flip it over. The backs don't matter. Flip both over, guys. Yep, so I can zoom in. Stay right there. Let me focus. There we go. Just leave it like that, please. Okay, guys, tell me the centering. How the hell are they getting a 9? Because 9 is 55. It's like 60, like even 60-40 on one level and 55-45. And that means this card is like really bad, but I don't see it. Would you guys see anything?
If you're asking me, I think, they consider eye appeal and such too. Something needs to be obviously wrong with it to make it a 9, in my opinion. And I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, that's crazy. This one's a 9 centering. This one comes out better. Yeah, here, hold the island, guys. Get it. Yeah, grab the island. Stop moving them around so much here. Hold this 9. Yeah, just hold up like that. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, like right, more down like that. Yep, just stop right there. Yep. I'm gonna get you guys an opportunity here to tell me what you guys think in the comments. Well, I don't see much. I'm looking at all the borders. I'm looking at the distance. Maybe they're looking at
text. This text is close.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
This one seems more. Well, they both have. They both have 9 centering. That's the problem. Where's the 9.5 centering? There is none.
There was not one.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I think maybe what happened was they just don't know. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what it should be.
Yeah, it's a different kind of card.
So rather than giving like a pristine grade or something, they're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what is... Wait, Jeremy. So what do you analyze... So what is your question, investment-wise?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
These are some other kind of interesting cards. A couple of these I did grade myself. This, shout out to Tavis, Masters 25. It's obviously not. Yeah, maybe it was the theme set we were waiting for, if it actually was in that set. All of these are quad 9.5 or higher, which is why they're here. These are very difficult to grade. I wanted to point that out because I think most people assume, oh, newer stuff, it's all going to get 9.5 and 10 and black label, and sometimes that's true, like for the UMA box toppers. These are not like that. The inventions are slightly easier than the expeditions, but they're still hard, especially for new cards. They chip very easily. I don't remember exactly how many 10s have been graded for the inventions. It's a pretty low number. I know there's at least a Mox Opal and maybe a few other ones. Getting it 9.5 basic is hard enough. Getting it quad or anything above a quad is extremely hard, much harder than you would think.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've probably graded...
So it's not what you expected. You thought they would be a little higher grade. Just
yeah.
These are new cards.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the cards, you might think, oh, this is super easy. I've seen people make those comments when I've talked about these. This is also an interesting one. I actually got this from Bad Boy Gaming, so shout out to him. This graded as a quad ++ 9.5. There have been about 500 expeditions graded, and 0 of them got 10s.
Ooh, so this is very close.
There's not a single one that has a higher grade than 9.5 quad ++.
How nice that is. Wow, it's beautiful though.
Yeah, tells you something about the print quality.
And you know what's cool about this is the surface is a 9.5. That means there's no lines or anything. You know, corners and edges.
The edges are usually a problem for these.
Yeah, there's like
chip. A lot of them were chipped straight out of the pack.
Really bad out of the pack. There you go. There you go. Yeah, wow. Yeah, these are really bad because the way they cut them could easily be chipped and jagged, you know, like that rough cut.
Yeah, you see like the little sparkly dots right around the edges.
Almost perforated.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got other new stuff.
Yeah. So well,
why are you grading this shit?
We'll put this in a category of its own, kind of this whole area. This is a quad 9.5 Sliver Queen that I opened myself out of like a $20-25 pack of Stronghold. The Krovax and Dream Halls are both also reserved list and quad 9.5. There was one of these that sold in PWCC a few months ago for $360. So that tells you what kind of premium they get, at least for a good reserve list card like that. I actually just opened a Mox Diamond too that I'm going to submit that I think has a good chance to get this kind of grade too.
What is that raw?
If you look on the Dawn Glare, the site that Rudy likes, I think it's like 160.
Okay.
So
it's like 2x-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, people would say, yeah, there are so many boxes and so many cards printed like this. Well then, I mean, it's hard to get a quad 9.5, but some of them can actually get premiums. I also think some of these old foils are harder to grade than people think. This one is a quad 9.5, which is very hard to do on old foils. Even a lot of the 9.5 old foils are just basics. People are getting more into grading 7th edition foils and some of the Urzas, and yeah, it's kind of a growing segment.
Lightning Angel, I like that one.
Yeah, I just like the looks of it, so that was...
And what are these things?
These are Urza Saga, Weatherlight, Tempest, Mirage.
Oh, I got a 10.
The Dark. Yeah.
What card is this? This is special?
Everything here is reserved list, so that was the first thing that I was going for.
Yeah, that's almost a black label.
Come out there. See that? Yeah, you don't have to go so close. Sorry, Jimmy? Mm-hmm. You want it clear, yeah. That looks very nice, though. Registration on this is very clean. How much is this worth raw?
Not very much.
Okay.
So that's kind of, yeah, and I actually graded this one myself. I opened it. It's a quad 9.5. Same card.
Is that?
Yep.
So you told it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And how about the revised? What do we got?
So
these have been collected quite a bit.
What do you think of the 96 to 98 reserved list cards?
Well, let's go to revise and I'll tell you everything together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just analyzing what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so I have different revised cards kind of spread out here. A couple more. I've started slowly working on a high-grade revised set. So everything here is quad 9.5 or higher except the Underground C, which I graded myself. These 3 dual lands are quad plus. Got a handful of 10s mixed in here, an uncommon, weaponsmith, flight, smoke is a rare. Yeah, spellblast, scavenge ghoul. Let's see there.
Basic. You don't want to move around too much. You want to go, see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You go out a little bit more, yeah. Sorry guys, we have a little Apple user. My friend Jeremy likes Apple, but we operator, but Samsung's we don't like that. You don't have to move around too much. Got it? All right. So you grade these and you collected them?
What I would say, I'm not recommending to anybody to grade stuff like this as an investment. Okay.
Yeah.
That is not my point of this.
Yeah. You can sit too, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'll operate here. All right. So let's sit down. Let's take a look. So why don't we sit down? You got our full shot. So let's I'll focus. All right, so here's the deal. So what is your question for the finance part? Sorry about the...
So most people would look at these kind of cards and say they're not worth grading at all. And from a finance perspective, that might actually be true. I think some of these, especially the good reserve list cards in quad 9.5 and higher, actually will pick up steam over the years. Obviously the duels, we got 9.5 plus duels.
Now you're a collector, you said?
I'm definitely a collector, yeah.
You don't care about the investment?
No.
Are you collecting a set for yourself?
I'm starting to work on the revised, so I may make some.
You have a nice setup, yeah. Okay, so remember the video I had before about collector or investor? Mm-hmm. So if you're a collector, it doesn't matter what these are graded. Mm-hmm. Now, are you looking for the highest grades for yourself?
Yeah.
You're nostalgic, things you open, right? They're important. So really what it comes down to is if you watch that video, collectors just don't care. They really, their mentality is, I appreciate the cards, the nostalgia. I may have opened them myself, like some of the packs you bought for me. I could open them and dip, right? So that means more to me than the actual, the monetary value.
Yeah.
But because you could obviously buy, this is a basic Underground C revised, and you can easily just get one that's better,
Yeah.
So my feeling is that if you want my impression on it, there is no investment level. Are you asking any investment questions, or are you asking is this smart? What are you asking here?
Well,
is it worth grading? Is that what you're asking?
We're kind of, I mean, there are different types of cards people grade.
Sure.
I guess one question would be, is something like an Alpha 8 or something going to go up in price more in time than something like these duels that are 9.5 quad plus?
So this is a really good question, because typically we always talk about the high end.
Yeah.
Really,
which is not the point.
This is more of like the masses, which is always the thing. So I think it's almost related to like old baseball cards. Like there's cards in like 1952 tops that are PSA 7, PSA 8, 1953 Bowman color baseball card stuff that are collected, and there's value to them, even though raw there's shit pricing.
Yeah.
So I think there's value for alpha and 8s and stuff. This stuff, there's no value because there's so much printed. I don't care if you have an 8.5 unglued or what.
I can tell you don't care.
I keep forgetting. No, I do care. But what was that set again?
Unstable.
Unstable. The unset. I mean, I care in the sense that like it's beautiful art and it's a beautiful collectible, but the caring of like, no one cares that it's an 8.5. They're probably going to crack that open and put it in their deck, and that's the utility of Magic cards. Mm-hmm. So to answer that question, new cards, this is what I call the modern day card collecting. I think revised is a nice set to make because it's not modern, it's still old school stuff, and it has a beautiful registration. It looks nice. If you made a whole set, it can really look beautiful as a collector, and it's affordable, more affordable, right?
Yeah.
The Kaladesh masterpieces and stuff, and also some of the masterpiece cards are interesting because what happens is
people are grading them like crazy. You'll notice that the grades are pretty good overall. You have a lot of quad pluses. Maybe some BGS 10s are out there. But the real enigma to these cards is really just the fact that they're masterpieces. And sure, I think that if you got a BGS 10 or a quad plus plus or a quad plus like you have here, it could actually have some value, a little bit of a premium. But the question is it worth investing money and holding it for the long term? I would say no, because ultimately your money can get higher return elsewhere, in Magic that is, right? Other question you had was, everybody here watches this channel knows that there's a lot of reserve list cards that are graded. So James graded tons of reserve list cards. You got that's BGS 10, Divine Retribution. What the hell does this do?
It's a terrible card.
It's a terrible card, but what is it? So the point is, though, the point of what he's saying is that, like, are you doing it as a collector? Are you going to grade them and start a new market and sell them to collectors? The thing you got to remember is that, what is the market depth for people buying the cards? Are there people out there is there a demand to buy Cycle of Life? Cycle of Life from Mirage. Is this going to spike? Is this going to grow? So the thing is, if your cost basis is very low, you got them, not very expensive, that's fine. But the grading costs now, they're expensive. Grading keeps going up, at least $10, $20, whatever, a card. So is there a market? And really the truth is, the answer is no. Because right now there's no market. You gotta understand that the newer Magic cards, even Mirage, Alliances, those kind of sets, Onslaught, all those, while they have cool cards, the playables, set collecting for those will never be what Revise is probably the cap, right? But who's making a Fallen Empires, Quad plus plus, BGS 10 and set? And in the test of time, and 100 years from now, if you're still watching this video, no one will care about that. Yeah. The reason why was it wasn't nostalgic enough. There's like 400 million, 500 million cards ever printed, right? It's too many cards, and it's too easy to grade them in high grade. The reason why Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, those of course sets are so valuable is they represent such a timeless history in Magic. On top of that, the accessibility of opening fresh packs and starter decks are really hard. And they would cost you, as of today's filming, would cost you like $75,000 for an Alpha starter deck if you can find one. And even then, you can get a shitty warp artifact and it sucks. So that's what I'm saying is these are so accessible for the packs. You'll always have someone grade another one anyway. Yeah. The rarity's not there. So you got rarity, accessibility, sealed product, demand. We talked those subjects. The last thing here is really reality is if you're going to buy into this stuff as an investment, don't. It's a collector market. Do it for yourself. Do it on the slow boat service. I swear to God, it's going to take you about a year and a half, 2 years. I still haven't got my order back from Beckett. And those were alpha cards and beta cards. But these cards are not worth paying the premium. PSA has like a $6 or $7 or $8 modern day special, right? Do that in bulk. Then it's worth it. I have X-Men cards or whatever, those cards, they're comic cards I like, and I submit those on the cheaper special and I collect them, right? They're not worth anything, but I like them. So that's my answer, is that if you really love these cards, and by the way, James, I appreciate you showing this. This shows me that you love them in cases, you like. I don't think you really care about the grades. It's just the fact that you collect them over the years, and you'll go back to them. You'll put them, store them.
I mean, the quad 9.5s and higher, I'll pretty much permanently keep. And I agree with what you said, especially for Revise. The boxes are, what, $5,500, $6,000 now. And it's getting harder to open pack fresh cards. Especially a 9.5 quad or higher set. It's going to be hard to do. And with grading fees increasing, I mean, like planes. Forest, right? Who's paying to grade those cards?
Sure, you might get a BGS 10, but really, what's the value ROI? Yeah. So James makes a good point. Like, is it worth buying a revised box at $6,000 and then cracking it, paying all the grading fees?
Yeah.
There's 540 cards, 36 times 15. Let's say you graded everything. 540 times $10 grading fee is $5,400. The box is $6,000. That's $11,400. Are you going to get enough dual lands and stuff to pay for all that stuff? No, I don't think so. But what I will tell you is, because there's still a lot of supply of Revised. The sets like even Legends. I mean, Legends, there's so much Legends still out there, and they're mint. You can still grade them. We're at Caps, and even Arabian Nights. People always buy Arabian Nights. There's still mint Arabian Nights. Even Alpha Beta, like there's still raw ones you can get once in a while. So the reality is you have to have a demand, and with the huge supply of revised Fallen Empires, all those weird sets, you know, that we like, Homeland, fuck Homeland. It's never going to happen. But I want to tell you guys that, like, I grew up collecting, and this is the type of stuff I like. I have cards that I like. I like Garbage Pail Kids. I've tried grading some of those. It just makes you feel good. And that's what you should do. You should do this because you feel good, you like it. You're not doing it to make money, and I appreciate your story here. This is great. So guys, in the comments below, do you think James is crazy, nuts? Do you collect this also? If you do think you're going to make money off it, I want you to explain yourself how this is going to be a great investment, because I like to hear it. But it's not, I'm not going to, like, you know, I would like to hear your opinion, because this is really interesting, because most things I talk about are always about Black Lotuses and $100,000.
That's why I brought this.
That's why you brought it. This is a great assortment. All right, man. Thanks again for coming from Arizona. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
See you later.
Hey guys, it's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm here to share with you more about our deck and set collector fulfillment service. The deck fulfillment service caters to the player. And what that basically means is if you are a player looking to fulfill your old school Magic deck, certain Power 9 or key pieces in your Vintage deck, or dual lands in your Legacy deck, we have the inventory and the resources to help you fulfill your needs. Next, we have the set collector fulfillment service. This really caters more towards the collector. Oftentimes I've been asked, hey Dan, can you help me find this specific graded card for this set? Or Dan, can you find me these 20 cards left in my beta set? It doesn't matter what you're looking for, even if it's like every single Sarah Angel possible out there, I can help you out. My resources and extensive network in Magic the Gathering, I was able to help thousands of clients all over the world fulfill their needs. I've made it my mission at VintageMagic.com to be your one-stop shop for all your collector needs. For any significant item or collection, we're able to travel anywhere in the world to meet you. The reason why my clients love this service is because it saves you time. What happens is collectors and players often search all over online or vendors, and they never find exactly what they're looking for. By going to us, we are the only one-stop shop who can help you with your needs. Using our service gets you exactly what you want and saves you time and money.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit VintageMagic.com.
Thank you everyone for supporting our channel. It means a lot to me that you're enjoying the content we're putting out there. I have a Patreon page that supporters have access to special perks and rewards. Become a supporter at patreon.com/vintagemagic. As a patron, you receive exciting pricing on sealed product, flash sales, annual gifts, and personalized consulting services from me. Again, thank you for subscribing to our videos and supporting the channel. I love meeting players, collectors, and investors all over the world. If you see me at a Grand Prix, please come by and say hi. I would love to meet you. Thank you everyone for your support and friendship.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit VintageMagic.com.